All right, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome back to the Georgia Math Show. You guys, we're going to be quick. Well, not quick, but we're going to keep it very short today. It won't be that hour-long video that we always do, all that jazz. It's going to be a quick, short, simple episode today. We got a couple things to discuss. We'll continue discussing a little bit about the MLB playoffs. Also, Big Me Pete Alonso has decided to opt out of his contract. We'll be discussing that a little bit. Also, we'll be discussing the topic of Shedeur Sanders and Rex Ryan. You guys, what he had to say, we'll be talking about that. Before we get started, as you guys know, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on every single topic we touch on today, we talk about, we discuss. We'll have a discussion in the comment section. Let me know. Don't be shy. Say whatever the heck you want. It don't matter. Let's get into it. All right. So as you guys always know, like I say a billion times, we always start the show with a positive segment. We'll always, in terms of positive segment being, we'll discuss, um, we'll have a discussion. I'll basically spread like a positive quote to you guys, something motivational, something that hopefully makes your day and keeps you positive. And, if you're going through something rough, gets you moving and, thinking about it. Oh, you know what? Maybe he's right. Let me do this. And then it just cheers you up. That's the point. All right. So here's today's quote, my people. We should care as much about well doing as well being. I want to live in a world that values purpose as much as pleasure, honesty as much as excitement, and justice as much as joy. That was a quote from Adam Grant, you guys. So here's what he's saying in that quote. Let's let's keep basically he wants it to be real. He wants people to be genuine and to be actually cared for. He wants it to be that. I'm gonna give you an example. Don't be friends with somebody because they gave you $5 or they loaned you some money. Be friends with somebody because they genuinely treated you with respect. They genuinely want to be friends with you. It's like that quote, it stuck out a lot, especially in today's society, because nowadays with social media and everything, we have a different mindset. I think so many people choose to hate because it's the best way out and it's more convenient for them and it makes it way easier. Just because if you go and say something positive, then you're gonna be called a simp or you're gonna be called uh, right or whatever. And it's just it's way different the way people are nowadays. But it's like it's important to care about and value your life, value other people's lives. Don't understand that when you go up to somebody and you treat them like shit, or if they're working in customer service and you go up to them and you treat them like dog shit, understand that that person is going through something also, that that person could be going through something rough. So for you to go up out of nowhere and just treat him like shit, understand that, it could backfire many ways. Many things could happen. It may not backfire that day. It could backfire in a couple of days after that. Who knows? But I'm gonna summarize it like this. But think positive, you guys. Understand that you only live once. I live by that quote every single time with any little situation. It could be any little thing. When you drive, when you go to work, when you're working, when you're talking to somebody, it could be friend, maybe girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you want. Understand that tomorrow is not guaranteed. That if you got blessed to wake up another day, that means it's not your time. Understand that. Remember that. Enjoy every single second because in a point of a snap, it can be gone just like that, literally. All right, let's continue on. Let's start off with one of the key topics for today, you guys. Mr. Pete Alonso has decided to opt out. He told the reporters in the last post game interview that he plans on or that he is opting out and he's going to test out the market. So, for people that don't know, last offseason, Pete Alonso was a free agent. He signed a 2-year, $54 million contract with the Mets that included a player opt out after this season, the 2025 season. Um, by him opting out, he declines the remaining $24 million that he's owed for the 2026 season. So he emphasized that opting out doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't want to stay with the Mets. It's a way for him to test the market and maximize his leverage. So basically, get more money. He's saying that he wants to come back with the Mets, but he wants to see how much money he can get. So obviously this moves and opens the door for him to get a long-term contract because obviously 2 years isn't going to be enough. And maybe get higher value somewhere else, maybe somewhere another team like the Yankees or um hell, who could be a good contender for him? Um, you maybe the Diamondbacks. Somebody who needs a first baseman. Maybe it benefits him more. Um, so here's the thing. So here's Alonso's stats for this season, you guys. He posted a 272 average with 38 home runs and 126 RBIs. He had an on base percentage of 347, slugging of 524, with an OPS of 871 and an OPS plus of 144. So obviously, he had a better season than what he did last year. Last year was a bit of a down season, but he had a pretty good season now. I've been hearing a couple projections of 5 years, 175 million, which would I think come out to. Let me calculate that real quick for you guys. Uh, that would come out to $35 million a year. He's currently 30 years old, and he's about to turn 31 in December. I I I I'm trying to really just try to put the puzzles together because here's the thing. The question would be, do you really want to pay a 31-year-old or a soon to be 31-year-old a 5-year contract on top of that, a first baseman, $35 million a year? Do you really want to add that to your payroll, especially after all the money you already spending with Soto, Lindor, everybody else, Sean Mania, Montas, everybody else, Nemo? That would be the ultimate question. Do you really want to spend $35 million a year on a 31-year-old first baseman? Literally. That would be the question because I see a couple alternatives. And here's the thing, you guys. I get it. Pete has been a Met for life, forever. He grew up, they drafted him, etc. But here's my thing. It's like with Pete, you're gonna get one of those. It's gonna be one of those things where eventually he's going to decline, and down the road, obviously, with how baseball is, that contract's not gonna look that good. If he was maybe 28, 29, maybe 27, then we could have a discussion. Like, yeah, maybe, yeah, give him that contract. But to pay a first baseman $35 million a year, I'm just not buying it. I'm thinking of a more different alternative. So here's what I'm thinking. You have Kyle Schwarber, who's about to be a free agent, Alex Bregman, who's about to be a free agent, and Luis Arias, who's about to be a free agent. Here's my thing. What you can do is there's two routes you can go. The first route could be you go out, if Alex Bregman opts out, whatever, he becomes a free agent. You can go out, get Alex Bregman, move Mark Vientos to first, and put him at third. Well, there's three routes actually, but we'll continue with the first. Move Mark Vientos to first and put Alex Bregman at third. That could be an option. Second option can be, which I'm personally a fan of, even though we'll have to see because the team he's on probably will pay him. Kyle Schwarber. I know a lot of people are going to be like, but he's older than Alonso and he's going to want a lot of money. Like, what are you talking about? Guys, this is a consistent hitter who's hit over 45 home runs. He's over 100 RBIs already. Like, Kyle Schwarber is, to me, a way better hitter than Pete Alonso. Just me personally. So I would say go out, get Kyle Schwarber, put him as your DH. You already got Marte who's leaving, and get Luis Arias. Get Luis Arias, plug him in at first base, that singles hitter, etc. Be versatile. You got already power. You'd have power with Kyle Schwarber. You'd have, let's say, a mix of power and eye with Soto. Nemo, does his thing. I think that'd be a good option. Now, a third option could be, for the third route you can go, is bring back Pete Alonso, trade Jeff McNeil. shed some money out of that contract, get some of that money out of that payroll. Guys, I'm really in one of those considerations of I think it's time that we need to get rid of Jeff McNeil. I really do. Just because I feel like he's been very injury prone, hasn't been doing too well at all. And it's just we're paying him a lot of money when it's just you could shed that contract and, do something else. I think, you got a lot of players, a lot of young cats that you can plug in at second base now. You got Luis Angel Acuna, you got Ronnie Mauricio, you got plenty of versatile options that you can, mix up to see who performs better to put in there instead of McNeil. Um, and it's just here's the thing. We have a lot of free agents that are coming up. Obviously, we got Alonso who's gonna be a free agent, Jency Winker, Starling Marte, Cedric Mullins, a lot of free agents. And it's just like we really gotta shake this up because the fact that we didn't even make it to the playoffs, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Look at the Reds. They literally just got swept by the Dodgers. Literally swept. And it's just because they weren't that good of a team. They weren't as good as the Dodgers, and I said it. Many people looked at me like I'm crazy, like George, what the is wrong with you? This and that. And look at what happened. I was 100% right. What I told people, the Reds were going to get swept. They were going to lose because it's not a comparison. Dodgers have way much more experience. So I just we got to make a shakeup. We have to at least go into the 2026 season with, you know, a better offense, something that can hit. And I like that option with Luis Arias and Kyle Schwarber because, Luis Arias, the boy can hit. The man can hit like a motherfucker. And Kyle Schwarber, we already know the power he does. And taking him away from Philly, that would be phenomenal. Now, is Philly going to let him go, especially to the division rivals, the Mets? That's going to be a challenge, if I got to be honest. But listen, the Phillies don't have as much money as we do. That's for sure. So I say that could be options with Pete. Listen, he's great player, all that for the Mets. But if he's asking for too much and it's unnecessary, let him go. He's obviously wanted to opt out to the free agent market twice. Get him out there, let him be. Let him go somewhere else. Maybe the Yankees. Who knows? But if he decides to go, hey, let's switch things up a little bit because obviously, we've had him for a while, and it's been a bit of a type situation. So yeah, let's see what happens. That's what I think should happen with the Pete Alonso situation. All right. So continuing on a little bit on the baseball topic. So MLB playoffs. You guys don't understand. There were so many people, especially on Instagram, talking to me and saying that I was crazy and all that, this and that. Because I had mentioned Conforto and the Dodgers roster, like a bunch of nonsense. Couple people talking about the Reds, this and that. What I say? What I say? What did I tell y'all? The Dodgers were going to sweep the Reds because, of course, they have way much more experience and they got the better roster on paper. As simple as that. The Reds ace got destroyed by the Dodgers roster, literally. So listen, trust. When I say something, trust. But let's discuss. So Dodgers and Reds. Obviously, the Dodgers won in advance to play the Phillies now. Shohei Ohtani will be the game one starter. So we'll see how he does against that lineup of the Phillies. Then we had the Cubs and Padres. It is now a tie series decided in game three. We'll see what happens. Look, it'll be exciting. Just because now you got you Darvish versus James Tamaleon. I think I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name. We'll see what ends up happening. It's really gonna be a coin toss with that series because you already know both teams are gonna fight to win, obviously in advance. So it's gonna be interesting. Winner goes on and plays the Brewers. We'll see how they match up. I want to go. Something's telling me to go with the Cubs, but I feel like I like you Darvish and taking it with the Padres. Now he hasn't been that good. He has a 5 ERA, but I'm gonna go with the Cubs. I'm gonna take the Cubs. Hopefully, they lock in and do what they got to do. with Kyle Tucker, hopefully he comes out, shuts out everything, does well. Pete Chrome Armstrong, hopefully he does well. PCA, they call him. Still upset with the Mets that, we traded him for Javi Baez. And, obviously look at it now. We look like a bunch of jackasses, but let's continue. Let's not discuss that because I'm already enraged with many things with the Mets. So let's just keep moving. Let's talk about the AL. So we got the Yankees and Red Sox, my people, going into game 3 at Yankee Stadium. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a battle. You already know both teams are going to go insane. It's going to be interesting because we've been the first game, Crochet did well. Obviously, we had Baron Boone do a boo-boo with taking out Max Fried after he was doing well. But listen, I'm going to go with the Red Sox. I'm still going to go with the Red Sox. Like I said, I feel like it's just the Yankees. They have, they have a good pitcher going in. Cam's a Slider, I think his name is. That's going to be good. He's been doing pretty good. Obviously, who the Red Sox got going in is Colonel Early. Interesting name. He is going to be shut out. He posted up a 2.33 ERA, but barely pitched, so we'll see how they do. Um, but I'm going to go with the Red Sox here. I think I like the Red Sox chances a little bit more. Now, obviously, the Yankees are at home, so we'll see. But like I've said before, Judge, this is your moment to shine. This is the moment you need to come up and you need to lock in. That's all I'm going to say. Because if not, you are going to be chewed out by Michael K and the Yankee fans at the end of this season. That's for sure. Last one, Guardians versus Tigers. Obviously tied series, same thing. Um, Let me think, because this is going to be a battle. I want to say the Tigers. I'm going to say the Tigers are going to win it, even though the Guardians have, home field advantage. But I like Jack Flaherty. And I feel like as long as he does well, shuts it out, and the Tigers could score runs, I got the Tigers winning it. Obviously, they're probably disappointed with that loss they had yesterday, but I got them continuing on and moving. I know I probably made a different decision, but I'm gonna go with the Tigers. I changed it a little bit, but hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what ends up going on. All right, let's move on to some WWE, my people. John Cena versus Oma Femi, you guys. I think there's a good chance that this match could be John Cena's last match. And here's why. Obviously, I discussed with you guys a couple episode shows ago that I feel like this ending to John Cena's run, especially knowing him and how he is and how he thinks about everything, they're going to want to put somebody who is going to have or they expect to become a megastar next year. This person's probably going to be up there in the main event scene for a while next year. So whoever they put up against him is going to be somebody who they got a lot of hope in that does well, which I think is Omar Femi. As you guys know, he already lost the NXT title to Ricky Saints. I believe they name, yeah. And obviously he's going to be probably called up to the main roster. I would love this match. I think Omar Femi, I'm a big fan of him. I think he could become a megastar in WWE. Now, obviously, it's going to be a big pressure. Obviously, he's just going to have to focus on living up to it. But I'm a big fan. I think it would be very nice to see him. Obviously, this would be a passing of the torch moment. Cena passing it to the up and coming NXT star. That would be great. Fresh opponent. Never seen him before. That would be nice. The style is a bit different with the character work, the fundamentals of Cena, the drama, everything like that would be nice. And then Omar Femi with his raw power and how young he is, that would be nice. Now, obviously, the challenge would be is just the main roster. Cena's on the very top, Femi's on the NXT, so it'd be a little bit. And then the timing and everything. Cena's winding down. He's getting older, and then Femi is himself as said is unlikely to cross fast pass. So it'll be very interesting. I see that match happening. I think it would be very nice to see it. Omar Femi versus John Cena. I say let's do it. All right. last topic for today, you guys. Like I said, it's gonna be a quick episode today. We're just gonna get it out of the way. So let's discuss about the Shedeur Sanders QB situation, you guys. So as you guys know, he was selected by the Cleveland Browns, fifth round pick, 144 pick of the NFL draft this year. He signed a 4-year, $4.6 million rookie deal after the draft with them. The thing was that is that he entered into a competitive room of quarterbacks. You have Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and then Dylan Gabriel. Obviously, Kenny Pickett is gone. Joe Flacco is now the backup, and Gabriel is a starting quarterback. So, as of early this month, the Browns moved to name him the starting quarterback, Gabriel, and then demoting Flacco to backup. Wasn't doing that well, and kept Shedeur QB3. So it's been a bit of a discussion, obviously, because it's like a lot of people have a lot of hope in him and they want him to play. Coach, the coach Kevin of the Browns hasn't been too talkative about it. He just said he was firm that Joe is the backup and declined to further comment on Shador. So let's discuss about what Rex Bryan said. Let's react to it real quick, and we'll go from there.
Stefanski is one of an outstanding coach. All right. But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
We'll see if they make a change there. And
Stefanski is one of the.
So that was Rex Ryan, you guys, who basically, just was talking smack, about, the Shedeur, why doesn't he go up, this and that, all that. So here's my thing. Rex, dude, he's not the coach. He can't control what decisions Kevin is gonna make. He can't control what Stefanski is gonna do. If he's gonna keep him as a third string quarterback, there's nothing he can do to go up and tell him to make me the starting quarterback. He's just gonna have to fall in line and do what he has to do. So listen, I don't understand why he's like coming off aggressive on him. I think it's just coming off of like pure hatred. Listen, he did pretty good against his preseason game against Carolina. He had 14 out of 23 completions with 138 yards and then 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he did a little bit better than Gabriel. I think that's why a lot of people are questioning, why are you having Gabriel start over him? And it's just like, here's the thing. The only reason why this name Gabriel has been going around is because of this situation. Because nobody in their blue mind was talking about Gabriel until he got drafted by the Browns and Shedeur got drafted by the Browns. The only reason why this name gets mentioned is because of Shedeur. And he obviously didn't do that good, and we obviously know the situation with Shedeur. But it's like to go on, Get Up or whatever show it was and just talk smack. Dude, it's out of his control. He's up there. There's proof that he's up there in class, up front, wanting to be there and learn. He's obviously making more progress with his mouth. He's not, talking smack or anything because he got humbled, but you got to give it a chance, man. You got to understand that he's not the coach. That, he's just got to fall in line and do what he got to do. So for you to go on live TV and be screaming, listen, I'm going to say this. I think they should give a chance to Shedeur. I think give Gabriel one game, see how he does, and then give the ball to Shedeur. See how he does. Get everybody to shut their mouths. See how he does. See if he does well. And that's it. I don't understand why we have Flacco as a backup, though. I don't know why the Browns haven't got rid of Flacco. I think they should start Shedeur, have Gabriel as the backup, and that's it. Simple as that. But Rex, come on, man. You can't go out and just bash the dude like that. He's not the coach. But give it time. Everything, look, like as Shedeur said and as his dad has said, I'll be honest. Patience is key. Everything in life, as long as you have patience, that is the most important thing, you guys. That is one of the things that I want you guys to take away with today. Patience is key. Be patient with every single thing. And also understand that if you didn't get something in that moment, it's because it's not meant for you yet. You may not find out at that moment. You may find out a couple months after. Who knows? But understand that everything happens for a reason. Hope you guys enjoyed this show today. Like I said, it's gonna be a bit short. I have to. Thank you guys all for watching. As always, stay humble, stay blessed, stay positive, and I'll see you guys later.